welcome back to my channel, Califoodie Dreamin. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Brittany.
Now let's get to eating. Hey y'all, welcome back. So today is a very special video. I have my really good friend, Brittany here. I am so glad she's here. I love doing, not collabs, but I love eating with people because it's boring when I'm by myself. And of course I'm talking to y'all, but you know, it's so much better when somebody else is here eating with me.
For sure.
So yes, this is my friend Brittany, and today we are talking about what?
You're talking about mental health.
Yes. And so we're going to get into it. I'm going to say grace. We're going to say how we met, do a little introduction, and then we're going to go. Okay? All right. Lord, we love you so much. We thank you for this food. We thank you for the hands that prepared it. We thank you that Brittany and her family was able to come here safely. And Lord, just bless this video. Bless the people who are watching. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful
All right.
prayer.
So y'all, today we have macaroni and cheese, ribs that Daryl grilled for me. We have collard greens, biscuits, and then I have iced tea and lemonade in my blessed cup. And you have?
I have strawberry lemonade.
Okay.
My faves.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, let's get into it. And Brittany, I guess I'll let you tell this story because
I was like, you put me on the spot already.
Because y'all, it's so crazy how we met, but it was like it's a blessing how we met.
For sure.
So go ahead. You can, if you want to give an introduction of who you are and like how we met.
Yes. Okay. So, like she said, my name is Brittany. I am one of her good friends, but also I am a mental health therapist. I have a private practice in Studio City, California, and how we met, oh man, it's a very random story. I might need your help telling this, but so pretty much we met on this app. Should I mention the name of the app? Okay, so we met on this app called, it sounds like we're dating, like, should I mention the name of the app?
Right.
We met on this app called Peanut, and it's an app for moms.
But it's like a Tinder for moms.
Yes, it's like a lot of like, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. It is so good. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yes, like she said, it's like a Tinder for moms, where like if you're a first time mom and you're like freaking out about parenthood and being a mom and like, oh, I need like mom friends, it's a great app where you can kind of meet people and you know, you like she says, you have profiles and you kind of swipe. I think it's up if you want to say hi and connect.
Right.
And then down if you're kind of like, no, not right now.
So it's really like Tinder, y'all. It is for real like Tinder. And that's what they say too. It might even be like a description for them, like Tinder for moms.
Yeah, no, it really kind of is. And you can even see like how many people have checked you out, which I don't really know how I feel about that, honestly. It's like, oh, like 20 moms have looked at you. I'm like, but nobody said it. Nobody waved.
Nobody says anything. It's like, but I guess some people are shy, which I guess that's a great way to meet people because, I mean, I guess that's the way right now. And
I guess.
But I like the app because, like, it kind of like, I don't know. I guess you kind of can be shy at first and try to see who people are, see what your interests are, and if you connect. Like, I think mine is like a spiritual gangster.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have the three.
Yeah. Like you can say like whether you're like sleep deprived, if you're a coffee person, like you have all these interests, you can choose three.
Yeah.
And so if you connect with somebody and you're looking on their profile page and you see that you have these things in common, you can swipe up on them and you can connect. And then the next step would be to message and like try to plan like a play date or like a meetup or something like that.
Yeah. See, what I appreciate about you was that you actually like, usually people will message and they'll say like, hey, how are you, this and that, but then that's it. And I think by the time that we met, I was getting a little frustrated with the app because I'm someone that looks for like substance, you know, like I'm not just gonna be like, hey, like I'm looking to have friendships, like meaningful friendships and things. I really do sound like I'm dating. Like I'm listening to myself. I'm like,
because it really is like that now. Meeting people.
It really is, which is crazy. But like I was frustrated because like I'm someone to where like, hey, you want to go get coffee? Like I legit want to go get coffee. I'm not saying it just to say it. And when I connected with Ashley, I can't remember who connected with who first. I don't even know. I can't remember. But like you were super sweet and you're just like, hey, and then you're like, I'm getting together with another mom. You wanna go out? And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You actually want to do something?
I know. Y'all, I might have been desperate at this point. I might have been desperate at this point. Like, I'm like sitting in the house with a little baby and it's like, I don't have no friends. And then like all my friends here, they don't have children. And like, that's a different thing when you're a mom and having friends that don't have children. It's like they kind of don't get the mom stuff. Yeah. Like they might want to go out and do this and it's like, I can't do that. Or like, you know, so to have other mom friends is just so awesome. So I'm just like, I didn't have any. Yeah. So I was like desperate, like I'm just stuck in this house with a little baby and but yeah, so that's one thing about it was I initialized our first meetup. Yeah. But Brittany is so good at like keeping it going. Like she is the best because sometimes I could be like the worst friend and like I'm terrible with my phone. Yes. Every friend says this. Yes. So I know. And I know I need to do better. But I'm terrible with my phone. And so I won't get to people's messages till hours, days, weeks. Yeah. So, but she's so great at like inviting me to stuff. And wait a minute, y'all saw her in October in some of my pictures when we did the Halloween. Did you see that video? I might have known. Because I was like, I'm like putting her in my video, putting pictures in my video. I ain't even ask her.
I was like, yeah, I haven't seen
But yeah, that 21 days of Halloween, and probably Peyton's coming out here. But yeah, 21 days of Halloween, I think it was called. She invited me to. And like, she's always inviting me to stuff. Like, she always keeps me in a loop. Even the one with the Christmas lights that we just did, like she always keeps me in a loop about stuff. Because I just be sitting in the house with Peyton or like in my own world. But, so she's great at that.
Oh, thank you.
So what else?
Oh, okay. So when we like trailing off everywhere. So when we had our meetup, and we met with another mom. Shout out to Sarah. And we went to the Grove. Was it the Grove or the Americano?
We did Americano.
Americano. Those are like all the same to me.
Yeah.
And we ate at, where did we eat?
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory, yes. We had a really good lunch. I just felt super connected with you. I was just like, oh, because usually you like, it felt like a date. It was kind of like, I remember I got there first. And I was just like, oh, kind of nervous. Like, okay, am I going to be able to find her? All right, this is weird. Like, I always get super weirded out with stuff like that. But, like, as soon as you came, I was just like, oh, okay. We started talking. And it was...
It was natural.
Yeah, it was
we
very
vibed.
natural. For sure. So, yeah.
And then there was birthday parties, and it was history since then.
It has. And my gym, too. I told you about my gym.
Yeah. Yes. See, when you got mom friends, they can tell you about stuff for your kids that you have no idea. But, I'm trying to think, what else? Should we get into the topic? Yeah. Are you able to eat something? Because I know I got you talking. I know I got you talking.
The greens and the mac bomb.
Oh, good.
So good. It's seasoned so well, you guys.
Good.
Sometimes, people make greens and it's like dry or it's not seasoned. It's kind of like you're eating leaves.
Yeah.
But you have to tell me how you season this.
Okay, I will.
It's good.
I will.
But also, I'm not used to being on camera and eating at the same time.
I know. It's a little different. It's definitely a little different. It's something you really got to get used to because even when I started, I was just like, okay, this is weird. But you get used to it. You get used to it. And I'm sure this probably won't be her last time.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm going to invite myself to many more.
So,
yes.
What is your title? You say therapist,
Yes.
counselor?
So actually, I kind of have two jobs. So my full-time job, I am a manager at a homeless services nonprofit, and I oversee our outreach team. So those are the people that actually like go out in the streets and engage people experiencing homelessness, things like that. So that's my full-time job. But in the past, I've been a therapist. So I've worked with people who kind of need mental health support. So what that could mean is a lot of different things, right? It could mean maybe someone's going through depression, right? Or has experienced different types of traumas, things like that. Or a lot of times the clients that I worked with, they're mandated, so they're kind of forced to go to therapy.
Wow,
so I've worked a lot in like with the foster care system. So a lot of the kids who are in the system, they're required to go to therapy.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a lot of experience working with kids in the system, on probation.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Is there an age limit?
For that's a good question. So I've worked at different agencies, things like that. And you could have a baby be in therapy.
Wow.
So I've never had like babies. The youngest person that I've worked with is probably 2 years old.
Oh my God, that's still so young. You'd be so surprised.
And people think like, well, you can't do therapy with like a 2-year-old. Right. You have to kind of switch what therapy looks like, right? For them. So if they're kids, if you're 2, you can't sit down and be like, so what's wrong with you? And then they sit on the couch. It's more so playing and then kind of helping to help the relationship with the parent or the caregiver. Okay. You know? So that's kind of what you do when they're younger. And then like with teens, I worked with a lot of teenagers, things like that. They can do more talking, but a lot of kids don't like to talk. Okay. You know, especially to strangers. They're like, I'm not telling you nothing. Get out of my face. Cuss you out. So
now with your private practice.
Yes.
Do you have an age limit?
That's a great question. I do not, actually.
Oh, good. Okay.
So right now I'm working with a lot of adults, but I do have some kids who are clients. Okay. Kids are actually my favorite, just because, I mean, yes, a lot of times it's sad why they're in therapy, but like they're, first of all, no offense to the adults, it can be a little more fun. And I'm all about kind of prevention and being able to sit down and work with a kid who's been through a lot. Okay. Like getting in there and helping them out when they're younger is so much helpful. You know, it's like really helpful and it's beneficial and more impactful as opposed to you're an adult and you've been through all of this stuff, but you've never been to therapy, right? It's a little harder to kind of work through that. So. And
especially, I know, especially in the African American community, which I feel like it's getting better.
It is.
But it's like therapy is like, if I go see a therapist, that means I'm crazy.
Yes.
And that's not.
Is not the
that
case.
is not the case.
That is not the case.
Because some people need somebody to talk to and figure things out, help them figure things out.
They do, and I think it's a stigma, right? And this is one of the main reasons why I got into social work and why I am a therapist and why I became a licensed clinical social worker is to decrease that stigma of like, you know, therapy is it's not for people of color, right? You know, it's only for white people or this and that, and that's not true. You know, like you said, we all need someone to talk to. I say everybody can go to therapy because it's not just about like, oh, you need to have something bad happen to you, but like, you know, hey, maybe I'm going through kind of like a big life decision or life transitions. People move here, like me. Like I am not from LA originally, and I
hardly any of us
are. We're all transplants, but like I wish I would have went to therapy when I first came here because it was really rough. My first year here, I hated it. So yeah, I hated it.
Wow,
I love it now though. This is
how long have you been working at the? Or it's not a clinic, but with the homeless and...
doing that in a full-time job. So I've been a manager at that agency for over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my first job back after I had Carter, my son.
Oh, wow. Now, what ways can... Like, do you do therapy in multiple ways, or do people have to come to your office? Can you do FaceTime or Skype, or is there other ways, phone?
All those kind. Great question. I love. I'm like, yes, all the stuff I can't think about. Yeah, so there are different ways. You can definitely come to my office. Like I said, I have one in Studio City. If you're not familiar with California, that's the Valley.
And I'll put all of her information in the description box if you're in the LA area or in California. And even if you're visiting and you need a session, all her stuff is going to be down in the description box.
I can't with you. Oh my gosh, you're too funny.
So continue, because if they can FaceTime you, then they can maybe do it that way too.
Everybody in the United States
Right.
come see me. No, unfortunately, that's not how it works. But I do have an office, so I do have a lot of people come to my office, but also, like you were mentioning, FaceTime. We can't do a FaceTime, but I have a system where you can do like video sessions. So I do have one client in particular where that's all we do. I've never met her face to face, which is kind of like trippy to me because.
So what is the video? So what's that, like Skype?
It's kind of like Skype. Yeah, so it's pretty much
something like that.
It's like FaceTime, but it's a particular system.
Right.
So when you do therapy, we have something called like ethics and like kind of guidelines that we have to follow if we want to keep our license. So we have to make sure things are HIPAA compliant. And what HIPAA is, it's just the health, our information, how it's stored. Obviously, therapy things are like confidential.
Right, exactly.
So, but we could totally do that. That is an option, and that's like the wave of the future. Honestly, a lot of people are starting to
Absolutely.
do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool. So, do you have a lot of clients now, or? But I feel like you just kind of started.
I did start
your own practice. So
I officially started like November. Of 2019. So I'm working on building. Like that is the goal for 2020 is just to continue to grow my practice. So I have a few clients. Definitely want more. Yeah. Definitely want to move this to like my full-time job. Because therapy is what I love. Like I love what I do now. I love being able to motivate my staff and just dealing with homelessness. It's a hot button topic and I won't talk much about it right now. But you know, it just opens your eyes to a lot and just made me super grateful. Not that I wasn't before, but, you know, but therapy is like, that's my first love. So I noticed as I was going on to my full-time job, I'm like, man, I really, really miss doing therapy. I miss just focusing more on like people's minds and spirituality and all of that stuff. So I was like, I want to build my practice, you know, like I'm going to take a shot at it. I'm going to do it and here I am. So it's just really out of passion. It's what I love.
All right. So I have another question for you. So I know. So you counsel or deal with people who have some types of depression, right? That's a part of mental health
for some people.
Okay. So I'm wondering because, and I don't want to put this out there on camera because I don't want my doctor to be like trying to hold me in the hospital or something or take my baby. Right. But you know how moms go through postpartum and stuff like that. Do you handle things like that? Like for them to go through, to talk to somebody if they're going through postpartum?
Totally.
So you can go to a counselor or something for postpartum?
Oh, you can. And it's totally recommended. Like, I know a lot of people that did experience postpartum depression. Okay. That's just, you know.
It's a thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's like real, very common. I think that's one thing as I was going through my pregnancy with Carter, but like how common it is. And definitely go to, you know, a therapist. Anyone that's experiencing like thoughts, like it could be postpartum depression. There's also postpartum anxiety.
Okay.
Sometimes it can kind of go with like OCD, obsession compulsive disorder. Okay. Things like that. Oh, like definitely, yeah. Like,
wow, I didn't even know that.
It's a lot. Like our bodies go through like 9 or plus for me months of like creating these little humans, right?
Right.
And you have all these hormones, and then all of a sudden they like come out, right? And then it's just your body just has all these extra hormones that like it's slowly trying to get rid of, and sometimes that kind of interferes with like the chemicals in our brains or just things like that. So it's normal first of all. Like it's very normal. I know it can be a stigma to that too. Like, oh
Right.
my gosh, when you have a baby, you're supposed to be so happy and
Right.
love it instant.
Well,
You know, no.
That
you
don't
know,
happen all the time.
no, it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even for me, like I didn't have postpartum depression or anything like that, but like I loved Carter, but it wasn't like this.
Right.
Oh my gosh, like that.
How the movies make it seem
Yeah.
like this is real life. Things happen. You're not going through. No, oh my God, everything and looking great in the hospital.
Not at all. Like
No.
you're tired. It's like your body, your mind, everything is just tired. So
now I know there is a line between the therapist and the person getting therapy.
Boundary.
So
Yes.
there's boundaries.
Yes.
So do you offer therapy? Like, do you do therapy with friends, or you
That's a
would
good question.
say no? You go to somebody else.
As much as I would love to extend my services to my friends, yes, that's part of the ethics. Is we cannot provide therapy to family members, friends, people that we know. But let's say like you knew somebody, right? So like one of your friends needed mental health services. Depending on how that person felt, like I could technically work with them, but it's kind of still considered like we call it dual relationship because I know you. But like if we were all friends, so like let's say like Sarah, right? So it was like you, me, and Sarah.
Right.
Like I can't provide therapy to you or Sarah, right? But if it was like
a friend through
yeah,
a friend.
like a friend through a friend, or like you know someone but I don't know them,
Right.
then like as long as that person feels comfortable.
Okay.
Then yeah, we can do that. But I can't, sadly.
Right.
And also because, like, we're too in it, like, emotionally.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
yeah.
I know you, and I'm
Right.
not going to be objective. Or,
Right.
like, you know, cousins or family.
Mhm.
Like, I probably wouldn't be my 100% self. But, you know, I get some coaching, you know, some support, of course. But
So I can just call you and be like, girl, look.
I'm going to charge you.
Off the record.
I'm going to charge you.
Off the record.
Charge you my full rate.
Right.
Just kidding.
Look, I'm darn near done eating.
I
got you doing all this talking.
That's what you're supposed to be. And you're an expert on this. I'm not an expert.
Oh, yeah, because I just be eating, like my mom and people always say, you be eating with food in your mouth. I'm like, that's what you got to do.
But let me tell you this, though. Just so you know, too, I'm also a slow eater.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
just legit.
Yeah.
You can ask
Well, go ahead.
my husband.
You know, enjoy your food. I just be like,
No,
like
no.
I'm in eating like I'm in jail, like like I got.
Well, first of all, I don't think you would be eating this good.
But,
I'm just saying.
but that's so awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for you
Oh, thank
as you decided to start because, well, she really is like a genuine good person, a woman of faith, a mom, a wife, a family woman, and I feel like we are just so connected. I don't know if it's because we're so similar or we just have a lot in common, but she's easy to talk to. Like, as you can see, we just flow and bounce off of each other, and that's our friendship.
It is.
And very reliable.
Oh.
Very reliable. I hear
Sorry.
Peyton crying or something.
Babies are always crying.
But you know, it's past her bedtime.
Is it?
Like her nap.
Yeah, same with Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he only slept for like 7 minutes.
Oh.
Because he always do that every time we go on a long trip.
Yeah.
He'll fall asleep like 10 minutes, 5 minutes before we get there. I'm like, dude, you had 40 minutes.
Yeah, right. And it's so funny because the other day, Daryl had took Peyton to the store. And it was like around her nap time where she wouldn't take a nap. But as soon as she got in the car, she went to sleep. So he went to the store, and I'm like, why are they taking so long at the store? And so I called, and he's like, I'm sitting in the parking lot. We didn't even go in the store yet. He's like, I'm sitting in the parking lot. I'm trying to let her sleep. I'm like, they don't really do that. Like, you really gotta sit there and let me let her get some sleep a little bit.
Yeah, just a little
That
bit.
is funny.
Yeah.
That is too funny.
These ribs are really good.
Are they good?
Yeah, Daryl did a great job.
Yay!
He did a great job.
Well, see, I parboiled them first, so they're supposed to be tender,
Yeah.
which they are pretty much. And then of course I made the barbecue sauce. So really, all he did was grill. So you can just give me all the rest. No, he's pretty good on the grill.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's good.
And y'all know it's what is this? January. But well, in California, right? But in California, we can still do stuff like that, like grill and stuff.
Yeah, this is true.
Because it's not too cold. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, my sister and them are expecting like snow and stuff.
Yes, same with my family.
Mm-hmm. Now, where are you from? I mean, I know, but for the people.
Where are you from again? I'm from Michigan. Kalamazoo, Michigan to be exact.
Kalamazoo. And that's like those places that you only hear, like, that's a real place. Do people really say that to you like that?
All the time.
I bet. Because that is like, when you said that, because like you hear other like popular places and stuff, but Kalamazoo. When you told me that the first time, I was like, oh shoot, I never met nobody from Kalamazoo.
Now you have.
What's it like in Kalamazoo?
It's not a small town, believe it or not. Like a lot of people hear the name, they're like, oh, is that a small town? It's like a town, like a medium-sized town. We have stuff to do. It's not fast-paced like here or back on the East Coast, but you know, I grew up in the suburbs.
You like California?
Yes.
As opposed to Kalamazoo?
Yes, I do now.
You like it better?
Yes, now.
Is California home for you?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Like I said, first year, hated it. Hated it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the people were mean.
But were you here? You were here by yourself?
No, my husband, who was then my boyfriend. I moved here after I graduated from my grad school. I moved out here because you can do social work anywhere. Right. And I didn't want to go back home. Honestly, I didn't feel like there was anything for me. Even though like my family was still there. But like a life of my own and to really be who I wanted to be, I just felt like I couldn't do it there. So I moved out here. People are like, you moved out here for a man? You know, but it wasn't just like solely Glenn. It was really, I needed a change. I needed to do something for myself. So I did that. The first year was very tough because Glenn, he works in entertainment. Hence why he's from Michigan too. He's from Flint.
Oh, wow.
But he did a lot of like traveling. Like he went to New York when I first came here for a couple months for a show. And so I was pretty much by myself. Okay. Didn't have a car, which that's not cool. And it's not even about it being, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Especially being here in California. Because everything is just so spread out. It's all over.
All over.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I love it here. I love the culture. Love the weather.
Yeah.
There's just so much to do. You can go up to the snow. If you want, go to the beaches. Like,
Now, how do you feel about being away? Because, I mean, we grow up and we start our own families. And so we have our families here. But being away from, like, your mom and other family members.
Like, that part sucks, you know, especially now that I have a son. You know, you want someone to kind of help and just to be there. So, of course, you know, I miss my family, but, I mean, ultimately, this is just home, and I feel like if we were to move back, it would be fine, but, I don't know, I just feel like something would be missing. Yeah. And they come visit. They come visit.
Exactly. That's how I feel, and it's so funny because, I never noticed that I was doing this, but like when I would talk to Daryl and like say, oh, I'm going back to like, of course y'all know I'm from Jersey, but a lot of my family, like my sister, my mom, my dad, all in there in Maryland now. So when I would say I'm going to see them or going back to see them, I would say, oh, I'm going home. And so Daryl was like, you have it in your mind that that's home, like that's your home. So here, for the longest time, I'm like, I guess I was feeling like this wasn't my home. I don't know, and like I didn't even think like, oh my God, this is my home. Yeah. And so I would always be like, I'm going home. And after I'm married with a kid, I'm like, I'm still like, I'm going back home. Like I'm going, Interesting. And not even like, oh, I'm going to go visit home. It was just like, I'm going home. Wow. And then when I would say California, or if I'm coming back to California, I'm going to California.
Interesting.
I know. It's so weird. I wonder what that means.
I feel like there's some kind of deep underlining meaning.
I don't know, because I don't know if it's just being away from like I said, we have our families, but like being away from my mom and my sister and my dad, because we're so extremely close that they are home to me, which is crazy because I think my husband and my daughter and this baby on the way supposed to be home to me, but it's just so weird.
Wow, interesting.
It's so crazy.
You know, but I mean, that makes sense, and I think that's awesome that you're so close with your mom and your sisters and all of that.
Yeah.
So
it was so hard to like leave y'all, like to leave them, but I had to come for my career, and I came out here by myself. Like,
wow,
I didn't have nobody. Like,
I was like, I don't know if I could do all that.
I came out here with 6 suitcases in a dream.
6.
Girl, 6.
Oh my god.
I probably did Southwest where you can have the 2 check bags for free. And like the carry-ons and stuff, because I'm pretty sure I had like my carry-on, my 2 check bags. I probably done bought some bags.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome though. Like you've been able to just by yourself, you know, come here, build your career, you married.
But you know what? But I didn't do it like just coming out here. Of course I prayed about it.
Of course.
And I waited for God to tell me it was the right time.
For sure.
And when he told me, I was like, deuces, Jersey, because I kid you not. I was working in a casino, and I gave them, when God told me, like, go. Yeah. I was like, all right, let me put in my 2 weeks notice.
You didn't have anything lined up or anything?
I didn't have anything lined up. And I kid you not, like, God, he was really like, I don't want to say on what's the name? Like ordering my steps and stuff. But he really like lined up everything for me and was like, this.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes. Like when I came here and opened up my bank account, the CSR, the customer service rep, he was the one that told me about this place where I worked, like this casting company, and that's where I got the job. Like he told me about it, I looked into it, and I got a job, and I was working there for all these 7-8 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Woo. That is God.
Yeah.
That's nothing but God.
It was so crazy, like how I just kept meeting people, and I'm like, it's not crazy, really, because you know, if you listen to God's voice and you know it, and you know when He's telling you to do something, then you do it.
Exactly. That is awesome now.
Yeah. So, we're going to wrap up. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
The last words.
Yeah. About like anything, you know, your practice, anything.
Man, I mean, I think just when it comes to mental health, again, I know a lot of people are just kind of like, oh, it's expensive, this and that, but I just always see it as like we go to the doctors, right? Like, regular doctors to get our checkup, things like that. We should consider mental health to be just as important because if our minds aren't working the way that it needs to be, or if we're struggling with something, then like the rest can kind of fall with it. Right. Physical symptoms. So I didn't know this until like I went to school and stuff, but like let's say you're feeling super depressed or anxious, like you could have physical symptoms that come with that too, which is crazy. It's like your mind is that powerful that it can like impact your body and just a lot of other stuff. So it's just really important. And I think everybody, whether you are struggling, you're not, you're just trying to maintain your stability, like go see a therapist. Just look at one. So
I definitely think I'm gonna go see a therapist.
It's so helpful,
especially like around the time you're pregnant and stuff, and after you have the baby, it is kind of hard because you be like, "This is my life," and like I can't even do the stuff I love or work or you know.
It changes us.
It changes a lot. It does.
A lot. I think we need to do a like little thing on like motherhood. I think that would
that would be so awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on my channel.
Thank you. I don't want to touch with my sticky hands.
Oh, me too. But yes, I'm so grateful that I have friends like this that initiated even coming on my channel and like we should talk about mental health. And I'm like, yes, because I don't be knowing what to say. what to talk about, and I don't know about it, so I'm glad I can have a professional. So I will put all her stuff in the description box below. Y'all, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you know, if you have any questions for her, or if you have any questions for me, or you know, comment.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, y'all, for watching. Stay blessed. We love you, and we will see you on the next one.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.